welcome back to my channel, and today I'm gonna be doing a video that a lot of you guys are asking me questions about. Ever since I uploaded my room tours, I have a lot of people questioning and commenting about like where I was staying, how much my rent was, blah blah. So today I am going to answer your questions in this video. Yeah, so I hope that this will answer a lot of your doubts and also questions on getting an apartment place or getting a student accommodation room in Melbourne. So disclaimer, this is only in Melbourne. I'm not so sure about other places in Australia, but I can only talk about Melbourne just because I was staying in Melbourne. The reason why I was putting this video off was because I was staying in that student accommodation while a lot of you guys were commenting and asking me a lot about the rental place. I was staying in that student accommodation place and I didn't really want to give out my location that much because I'm that private of a person, but I think a lot of you guys know where I was staying anyways. But since I moved back, I can clearly let you know where I was staying. So I wanted to have like a full-on experience in staying with that student accommodation place before I make this video and have a judgment of my own with it. I hope you guys enjoy this video and let's get started. If I keep looking down or having my book up, it's because I have notes in them. So I just want to be as clear as possible to you guys about the student accommodation there. The first question that I have is, does universities in Melbourne provide dorm or dorm rooms in the uni itself? So from my understanding, I think majority of the uni does not provide you dorm rooms or have an option to have a dorm, because I don't think they have dorms from my understanding from my uni itself, because my uni is right smack in the middle of the city in the CBD area of Melbourne. They don't really have place to have like in-campus dorms and stuff like that. So from my understanding, majority of the universities in Melbourne do not have or do not provide dorms or dorm rooms for you guys. So that's the thing, like you have to find your own like apartment places. And because it is in the city area, it is more expensive if you get apartment places or accommodations in the city as compared to if your place is like 30 minutes train ride outside the city kind of things. How do I go around doing that? How do I go around finding accommodation in Melbourne? For me, from my personal experience, is that I personally went to an agency application itself to send out my results and whatever it is to uni in Melbourne. So that same agency give us options on different student accommodation that we can stay in Melbourne. If you guys are not signed up with a particular agency or agencies to help you guide through Melbourne University or University in Melbourne applications, then I would recommend you going down to an agency if you have one in your country and just asking them like, hey, like I'm going to Melbourne to like study and stuff, like do you guys have like any advice on where or which accommodations or student accommodation that I can sign up for and where can I do that? So that's one option that you can do. It is kind of a hassle to do that. I recommend going to Facebook itself, and there's actually this small tab at the bottom. I think they have like this tab called Marketplace where you can type in like apartment places in Melbourne and set your location in Melbourne and everything, and they will give you a list of apartments all Melbourne based and stuff like that. They have like, if you want to be very specific on your search, be it like Melbourne CBD area, or like if you know where your location is in Melbourne, then put that location in the search bar and they will give you like tons of like apartment places, shared homes, shared apartments and stuff like that. Another thing is that obviously Google is your best friend, so just type in student accommodation places or student accommodation apartments in Melbourne, and again be very specific on the location that you know. If you know a specific location that you'll be in Melbourne, put it there and they will give you like you know, apartment places or even like student accommodation nearby. If you know which uni you're going to, put it in the search bar as well. Maybe they have like student accommodation nearby the uni as well that they can help you with, and then you just go to their official website and check out their rooms, because they do have like different rooms and stuff like that which you can check out, and also compare prices. That's one way that you can go about it. Is it a must to find a student accommodation only places / apartment, or can I find an apartment on my own? No, it's not a must for you to go for a student accommodation place. It's just that for me personally, I think that student accommodation is quote-unquote better in a way where you can kind of make friends easier, and yeah, I don't know, I just find it easier to stay in a student accommodation. But it's not a must for you guys to stay in a student accommodation while you're in Melbourne. You can always have the option to stay in an apartment place of your own, or like a shared house with other students or other people who are, you know, working in Melbourne or something like that. As I mentioned before, like you can go on Facebook and you can click on the marketplace and search up Melbourne CBD area apartment place and stuff like that. From there, you can actually connect with the person that is either staying in that apartment currently and they want to move out, or they want to pass on their lease, like they have like 6 months left or 12 months left of rent or lease, and they're thinking of passing that lease on to somebody else. Then you can connect it with them directly and ask them questions directly. I think that's actually a really good area or place to start with if you want to find an apartment of your own that is not a student accommodated. Sometimes you also have to read the fine lines in the description on Facebook, because sometimes they don't allow students, sometimes they want students, so it's really, you just have to read the description itself and see what the person wants. And if you're unclear, you can always like Facebook message them. How much is my rent? I was staying in a place called Igloo. I will leave all their details down in the description box below. So I was staying in Igloo, and it's the location in the CBD area is like right smack in the middle of the city, I feel like, and it's a very accessible area. It's very near to Victoria Market. It's about 5 minutes walk. 5 minutes walk. So my first room, the first room tour that I did, that room with like your own bathroom, your own bed, your study table, and your own wardrobe. In that room, I was actually staying in a shared apartment. So I was sharing with 5 other apartment mates, which are girls, and you have the option to either stay with all girls or all guys, or mix. Is really up to you. And you have also an option to stay either in a 6 shared room or 5 shared room. No, shared apartment, sorry. And yeah, that costs about $300 to $400 I think per week. And they always, your rent payment is always fortnightly, whether you're staying in a student accommodation or if you're staying in an apartment place. It's always fortnightly. So I have to pay about, I would round it up to $800 every 2 weeks, right? That's right, every fortnightly. So in a month rental, it will cost about $1,200 to $1,800 every month. So that's for my first room. For that shared apartment, basically what you have to share is your kitchen, your dining area, and then your living room area, which has the couch, the TV, and obviously the fridge is also shared. So, and my second apartment tour, that was a solo apartment. So it's the same student accommodation, but it's just I moved to a solo studio apartment. So I have the kitchen, the toilet, the pathetic dining room area, TV and bed and everything like laid out. You guys can go and see my room tour for that, my apartment tour for that. But that apartment cost about $400 to $500 per week. I think mine was about 400 plus 500. I remember like I have to pay like $900 plus dollars every 2 weeks. So probably around $1,000 1,800 I would say per month. I will either put it here or leave all the details down below so that you can like price compare, because I think it's also different when you're new, like you're a newbie, like you're signing up for a newbie as compared to me, because I stayed in the shared apartment for a year and then I moved out to a studio apartment in the same student accommodation, and they give like kind of like a discount if you stay about like a year. I think I can't really remember, but they did give me a discount when I was moving to the studio apartment as well. So if you guys actually want to know where I was staying specifically, like my student accommodation, super nice. It's like the staff there are really nice, so if you have questions and stuff you can always go down to their front desk and ask them, or even email them. They actually respond quite fast. And then other than that, it's actually quite, in Melbourne it's quite big. Like their apartment, what's it called, lobby was actually quite big, because they do like events there sometimes, and it's really good. I think now they have like a coffee place, I'm not sure. So my accommodation place is called Igloo, and I didn't really want to do this video. Like I said before, I didn't really want to do this video because I was still staying in that accommodation place, and it's not that I want to be selfish and not let anybody know, but it's because of my safety as well. Like I don't want people out there, I know that you guys, like my subscribers and also people who are asking about these things, are like, you know, students, and they just want to know out of curiosity, but there are also like creeps on the internet that I don't want to tell them about my location. So I mean, currently I'm not staying there anymore. I'm back in Singapore. Other than that, again, like I said, all the details will be down below. Like their what's it called, like their official website has a lot of their pricings, compare pricings, and also you can actually go like virtual tour and see how the rooms are, and if you like it then you book it. If not, yeah. By the way, Igloo is not sponsoring me for this. It's just that a lot of you guys actually want to know where I was staying. So Igloo, if you want to sponsor me, like hit a girl up, man. I know a lot of guys think that like my rental is really expensive. I think the most it costs is about 900 every fortnightly. That's very expensive. So it's about 1,800 per month, I would say. And it's very expensive. A lot of my friends say it's actually really expensive to stay in a student accommodation place. So I do recommend you guys to look out for other apartment places other than student accommodation, because student accommodations prices and rental prices are very fixated, because you don't really have to think about paying for gas or paying for electricity bills, water bills and stuff like that, like how you would when you're staying in an apartment place. That's why they have a very high fixated rental prices as well. So yeah, that's why it's expensive. Another thing that is because location wise is very expensive as well. Like for my student accommodation place, like Igloo is right, like I said, right smack in the middle of the CBD, and it's very near to Victoria Market. It takes about 15 to 20 minutes walk, and if you walk fast it'll be 10 minutes to RMIT University. Girl, been there, done that, okay? So it takes about, like, I would say 15 minutes walk to RMIT University, 5 minutes walk to another tram stop to take to Melbourne University. So yeah, location wise really good. It also takes about, I think, 10 to 15 minutes to walk to Melbourne Central as well. Like if you walk there, it's about 10 to 15 minutes. That's why I feel the rental place is very expensive and high. That's about it. And yeah, if I miss any details on it, I'll leave all the link down below, and I also will leave like links of other student accommodation that you guys might want to check out, and also like compare prices with. I hope you guys like this video, and I hope it's very informative. I try to be informative as possible for this video, because a lot of you guys have been like commenting on my room tour, and I really do appreciate it. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye. Party for the drugs. I'm not trying to make a friend of all